boy. Good morning, Frederick. It's Wednesday, May 1st. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. I seriously need to put a camera in this office. I was very prepared. I stayed up last night, did all my editing, got pretty much everything ready to go. And this morning I'm running around like a crazy person because of a few things I forgot. But the reason is, and I need to start off today's show by just saying, wow. More than 100 people turned out for the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the home of Everything Frederick and the celebration of the commencement of my company, Promo Circus, and this show, Good Morning Frederick. I was so excited to hear that so many people have watched the show and gave me some feedback about everything that they had seen and, talked about some of the companies and nonprofits that they weren't aware of, which I say every day. I'm still shocked that I'm meeting new people that I wasn't familiar with before. Also to hear the very kind comments from our county executive, Jessica Fitzwater, the mayor, Michael O'Connor, and of course, Rick Weldon, the president of our Chamber of Commerce. It even made my mom cry. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I had paid him to say those nice things. That's what that membership is for, right? Just kidding. In all seriousness, it was so great to feel the love and support. And if you know me, when I speak publicly and I talk about things that mean stuff to me, I cannot help but get choked up. And yesterday, as I was thanking everybody, I happened to glance over and see my husband, who had said he wasn't going to be able to make it. So, again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Shannon Flannery for creating the group, Everything Frederick, for the vision on the shop. And we are going to be doing some really, really cool stuff. And today, the shop will actually be open. 401 North Market Street. Our store hours will be 11 to 6 Wednesday, Thursday, 11 to 7 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 10 to 4. And this weekend being first Saturday, we're all going to be at the shop at some point. So if you want to see us, please pop in. We've got some really cool stuff for you can purchase, and more stuff is coming. We were trying to get ready for the grand opening. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody. The photos are awesome. I took like 2 photos yesterday. When I left at about 6:30, I was so exhausted, I could hardly even say a word. My mom and I were just, blown away. So anyway, I just want to thank you. Somebody asked why the storefront? And it's a great question, but really, in all honesty, it is just a place for people to gather in real life. I will be doing interviews from there. So if you want to be featured and you don't have a spot to do it, we can certainly utilize the store for that. And I'm going to be filming all the great events that happen in downtown Frederick. So that's what it's there for. All right. In local political news, early voting starts tomorrow and the primary is May 14th. I'm going to continue interviewing candidates for the Board of Education, those who respond that want to. The interviews will be posted in their entirety, unedited, on our YouTube channel, Everything Frederick Live. And I will include a short segment in each Good Morning Frederick the day after I talk to them. So today you're going to get a few minutes with Angie Vigliotti. And again, go to YouTube to see her video in full. Today you're also going to meet good friend of mine, Ory from Ory Custom Florals, and hear from Jen and Abby from Hartley House, and they clear up a couple misconceptions. I also talk with Clifton Corbin. He's putting together a Raising Generational Wealth Summit, which starts tomorrow and is absolutely free, which is amazing. I mean, they, doing anything completely free is just awesome. So, let's not waste any more time because it's probably going to be an hour show today. We'll get right into it with a new sponsor. want to thank Nicholas and the team from We Help You Move who signed on for a sponsorship with us. I am so appreciative. And if your company would like to sign up for a sponsorship, please let me know. We help you move, whether you're moving across the street or across the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts are going to make the whole thing easy. Moving is so stressful. And Nick has tons of tips to help you as you're starting to plan. And he will make sure your stuff gets to where it needs to go. He is an advocate. I just learned this the other day, and I've seen this on Everything Frederick occasionally, where someone has been scammed by a company who's holding their stuff ransom. Nick is an advocate for people and will help you to discern. He is happy to help you even if you're moving from Chicago to Iowa and you've contacted a mover and you feel a little nervous about it. Contact Nick. He will, even if he has nothing to do with your move, he's going to make sure that you are dealing with somebody who is legit. So, veteran owned and a supporter of the Frederick community, We Help You Move is really amazing. All right. So if you're moving anything, even office moves and things like that locally, call him. All right. Weather today. Oh my gosh. Looks gorgeous. Sunny, clear, high of 85. Couldn't be any more perfect. Tomorrow, kind of more of the same, sunny and 90. Okay. This is what I got to say. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Now, Friday looks okay, partly cloudy and 81. But when the majority of us are off of work, Saturday, Sunday, come on. Showers both days with temps in the 60s. That's just cruel. Mother Nature, we must have done something to make her mad. So, anyway, I'm going to have my husband and I cleaning out the garage this weekend. All right, giveaways. Just want to remind you, we've got the tickets to the Flying Cows on Saturday. Game's at 5 o'clock. We have that month-long pass. Oh, I got to award that. Actually, that's not on anymore. I meant to update that. That's one of the things I didn't do when I was frantic today. We've also going to give away that. I've got to text the people who won the bottle of the Pleasant Pet as well. And we have 4 tickets to the Key City Rotary Low Key Fest. So be sure to register for that. Next week, I've got a Mother's Day gift bag given to me by Jennifer from Helping Hands and Caring Hearts. Remember when I featured her? And coming up, we've got some gift certificates to B-Dub's Island Soul food truck. So the prizes are worth winning. And if you want to just get in on the texting, you can do that. Oh, let me put that banner up. And I probably haven't updated that either. Oh, yeah, I think that is updated, except for the dog text, and the SOS. I'm going to take that off, and then we're going to get that up. Look, I can do 2 things at once, even though I'm not looking at y'all right now. I am working. Here we go. We're going to put that up. There we go, just like that. All right, tons of prizes, though, and we want you to support these guys. Give us these prizes to give away because they want you to become customers, and so we would love for you to text to win. Okay, we're going to get into the market makers. Market Makers is sponsored by Intense Barbecue. They were one of our caterers last night, along with Sarah Kep's Kitchen. The barbecue was amazing as always, one of my favorites. Intense Barbecue is family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company cooking in small batches to ensure that the food is freshest it can be. Find them at intensebarbecue.com with the number 10 and satisfy your meat tooth. Yes, so he will do food and drop it off, and you don't have to have the food truck at an event if you just want the barbecue. He will do that. Okay, my next guest, Ory, discovered a love for flowers by accident. Wait till you hear what he was doing before he started arranging flowers. He has developed his talents to be one of the best I've ever seen. You can see his work this weekend on the door surround at Colonial Jewelers at First Saturday. Check it out. Absolutely stunning. And we want to introduce you to Ory. Let me get him on here. Okay.
Here with Ory from Ory Custom Florals, right in Newmarket. It's the first time I've actually been to your place.
Yes, ma'am. It is. Yeah, we've been here for 19 years. We moved here, in 2005.
Yes,
Yeah.
From Baltimore.
From Baltimore, right. Yeah, we started, we moved there in 91, and we started our business in 95, 96.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So
Yes.
31 years later, here we are.
Here you go. And no signs of slowing down anytime soon, I don't think.
Well, no, not really.
Yeah.
No, different
pace.
avenues,
Yes.
but definitely not slowing down. So fortunately.
Yes, that's great. So your business has kind of taken on a few iterations,
Yes.
especially recently.
Yes.
I know the pandemic especially caused you to kind of pivot and scramble and try to figure out how you can continue to get your gorgeous work to people.
Right, absolutely. Yes, it did. We, up until that point, we were strictly weddings, and we did nothing else. We were strictly weddings.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, we had to branch out. And we're doing this every day. Last week, we announced the new thing we're offering is Ory's Flower Bar.
Yeah.
So we'll come to
saw
events.
that.
Yeah, we'll come to
Love
events
that idea.
like baby showers, bridal showers, and we'll show you guys how to make a bouquet, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the new things that we're offering. So we're every day, every week, we're trying to offer new things.
Yeah,
and
I know you've done some different work, like the holidays. You've done the horse things, you've done the trees, you've done some really cool things for people.
Yeah, one of the most cool things that we ever have done, I think, was during the pandemic. For every wedding I did that I actually completed that year, I saved a couple of the flowers and dried them. And then at the end of the year, I did a Christmas tree that was auctioned off for a charity. I don't remember what the charity was.
Unreal.
But yeah, it turned out magnificent. It was beautiful and had so much meaning behind it because I knew each one of those flowers represented a successful, completed wedding. So,
That's very, very cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
What was it about the wedding for you? Well, let's actually back up a little bit. Flowers. How did you land in flowers and decorating and designing?
Yeah, it's an interesting journey. Actually, before this, I actually worked for an orthopedic company owned by Bristol Myers Squibb called Zimmer.
Okay.
I worked for their orthopedic company, and
what were you doing? I can't even imagine you
I was a customer service rep. So,
oh wow!
But I knew my business there back and forth. I knew all the numbers. I knew it all. So,
wow!
But I met my partner of 36 years.
Yeah.
And he was a national conference designer.
Yeah.
So he would design conferences for like Blue Cross Blue Shield Federal Employee, their annual conference.
Yeah.
He would design everything about the event, from the theme down to the workshops, everything.
Wow.
And it was on one of these workshops or one of these conferences that I attended with him where they needed some flower arrangements. And last minute I ran and grabbed some flowers and threw it together and helped them out. And it seemed to work well. I told him I liked what I did and I was interested in it. And at that time, we worked with a large company in Baltimore that was called PW Feeds. It's a large production company. And we did some events for them when I decided to do this. And eventually I said, yes, I really want to do this. And I trained with, if you know the movie Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts.
Yes.
I trained with the lady who did all the flowers for that movie.
Holy cow.
Yes, for a year. Her name was Andrea Steve in Baltimore. And I trained with her for a year when I started 32 years ago. And I decided I loved it too much, and I went out on my own after that. So 1 year was the only training I had. And back then, we didn't have the internet, so I couldn't do tutorials and look things up.
You couldn't go to YouTube like we can now.
Right. I actually have
Maybe you should produce some YouTube videos so people can start making Ory's floral decor.
Right.
That's unreal, though. So I feel like this must have been in you all along. That you just maybe didn't have the vehicle to do it, because I can tell you, you can give me a whole slew of flowers and I can try to do it. It's never going to look anything like what you can create. So that is a gift, my friend, that you were born with. Okay, so now you're not strictly weddings, but you do weddings, obviously.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
But you are custom design.
Yes.
So it is a kind of a personal one-to-one
Absolutely.
relationship. It's not like you're making 10 things and people are coming in and choosing.
Not at all.
You're
not
making
at all.
something for someone specific.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's the premise that I've based my whole
Yeah.
career on, is that we make it individual, one of a kind for each customer.
Yeah.
I chose early on in my career not to associate with FTD, where that's what you do. You make the
Right.
same arrangements that they dictate over and over and over.
Yeah.
I wanted my own freedom.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, I wanted my own freedom. So
Yeah.
I've pushed for that for the whole time that I've done
Yeah.
this. So yeah, it's been one of the best decisions I ever made was to do
Yeah.
that. So, and plus I think my reviews reflect that we do deliver that personalized service. So
Bar none.
Yeah,
Bar none. There's
so-
no question in my mind. Like, you take the time, the care, the energy to really understand what's trying to be created, who it's for, what is the
Absolutely.
purpose, how, and then you bring out something so stunning. It's just really, you're incredible. You really
well,
are.
it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
work.
tell.
I don't work.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
love
work.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
so
I
I
know.
love it so much that I absolutely don't feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have like kind of a pinnacle moment in this long career that you just go, wow, I can't believe I did that?
Well, there's two. The first one I would say was 15 years ago. We were just moving out of Baltimore and coming here, and it was the largest wedding I'd ever produced. And that was pretty stunning for me. We did ceiling treatments and changed the lighting in the room. There was custom linens, 5 different height tall arrangements. I mean, it's just crazy. A wall of chiffon. It was just, it was one of the biggest weddings we'd ever
How much
produced.
did that cost?
It was close to 30,000. So back then,
yeah,
back then.
yeah,
So you know,
yeah.
today would probably be closer to 45.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one of the largest weddings that we've ever produced,
Yeah.
and that wedding actually ended up in Style magazine, and it got me quite a lot of features. So,
Wow.
yeah. There for a while, I'll tell you, when we first started, we were in magazines almost every year for like the first 15 years of what we did. So
doesn't surprise me at all.
well,
Does not surprise me.
any
but-
advertisement you can get is great. In the
Yeah, of
industry.
course,
Yeah, but
yeah.
the best is word of mouth, and that's why we try so hard to. One of the things that we do to ensure that we're giving customized service is we provide a sample for the bride to see before her event, and that way she gets to actually see what the centerpieces look like, all the flowers in her bouquet. We measure her so that we're right on the size for the bouquet. So yeah, we definitely are not like every other florist.
Yeah.
We don't overbook ourselves. I don't have 5 weddings a day.
Yeah.
You meet with me. I'm doing the work for you.
What's the craziest thing a bride has ever asked for?
Black, all black. She did all black. She didn't have a black dress. She had a white dress, which I thought was very interesting, but she did all black fabric. She did black silk flowers. Everything was black. Black linens, black, everything was black, and then she shows up in the white dress.
Wow.
So it was very goth feel. That was the strangest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
One event that I did was for a client that I met when I was working at Andrea's Steak, and they would do parties for the Kentucky Derby every year. This last event I did for them that I remember before we moved here was for Preakness. It was just so over the top. We had lava fountains everywhere and huge 5-foot daisies, and it just was the most crazy thing I've ever done. It was over the top. So much fun to do and see it. And the blocks of color that we used everywhere. It was so perfect for it.
Is there any flower that you are like, this was the best creation ever?
Hydrangea. Hydrangea.
They're my favorite.
Yeah,
I love
hydrangea.
hydrangeas.
I will be honest with you. I think that if you look in my work, I use hydrangeas a lot. I use it in different ways.
Yeah.
But it's definitely my go-to flower.
Yeah.
I love the colors. I
do
love
too,
the size of it.
Yeah.
I love the size of the hydrangea, the larger head.
Is there anything you haven't done that's still on your bucket list?
The thing that always scared me was reaching out and branching out, which what we had to do in 2020,
Right.
like daily deliveries and funerals. I overcame that fear and conquered that, which was a
You
big
have.
step for me. But that worked out really, really wonderfully well.
Yeah.
We work closely with Keeney and Bassford and Rest Haven and other funeral homes in the area. So
Yeah.
we are starting new things, like I said. We have subscriptions, which it's not a new thing, but it's something that has started to pick up.
Nice.
And you can do 6 months or 12-month, subscriptions for your loved ones or whatever you'd like to do. Mother's Day's
What a
coming
great
up.
gift.
It's a great gift. That's I was saying. It's Mother's Day's coming up. It's a great idea for Mother's Day to send her a year of flowers. Work with a budget, and each month it's the same amount.
That you kind of have achieved the things you wanted to achieve, and you're still not working a
Right,
day,
right,
which is
right.
excellent. That's That's the one goal, I think, for most people. If there was one thing you'd want people to know about Ory Custom Florals, what would it be?
Is that I take so much pride in what I do that I go the extra mile that's needed to achieve what's needed. I understand the importance of the symbol of the flowers that you're sending.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of times, like in weddings and funerals, you only have one shot. Birthdays, you only have one shot.
Yeah. Look, I tell you, if you want an arrangement, if you're going to send an arrangement, first of all, get your moms the subscription. Moms, I'm telling you, would absolutely love to receive your artwork every single month. What a great gift. Now, with the delivery, Frederick,
we do a local delivery of about a 15-mile radius is our standard.
So
15-mile radius.
You guys are here in Newmarket, right on Main Street.
Right.
So if you guys draw a circle, you'll know if that covers your area or not for delivery. That's included. If you were going to give me just 3 tips when you're arranging flowers, what would it be?
Have 3 sizes, always have 3 sizes of flowers so that they're not all the same face value. So that gives you movement by having the different sizes. Triangulation of flowers always makes for a beautiful presentation. When I start out training someone to do arrangements, I say north, south, east, west, North Pole, and then 2 triangles.
Okay.
And then you just have to put your fillers in, and that always works.
Oh, wow.
And then my third thing would be always use odd numbers, never even.
Yes.
You don't
what
want it
is
to look
that
like eyeballs.
in nature?
Because it just, if
My
you put 2
landscaper
in,
says
it
the
looks,
same thing.
Design.
Always odd
I
number.
just think design, it looks better.
Number. Well, we thank Ory for his time and his beautiful work. And if you'd like to get yourself some, you got to go to orycustomflorals.com.
That's right.
And check it out.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. I love him. He is fantastic. And I'm telling you, his work is like nothing I've ever seen. If you want to show somebody you've taken a little bit of time, you've got to order from him. And Mother's Day, oh my gosh, how fabulous is that my family, hint, I don't even know if they're watching, but I'm going to send you this clip. Perfect gift for Mother's Day. Absolutely perfect. Anyway, we love Ory, and I think it's so cool. He learned from the designer from Runaway Bride. That's fantastic. All right, whether or not you have children who attend schools in Frederick County, it's still vital to be informed about the choices you make for the election of the Board of Education. The decisions they make have impacts on your neighbors who may be teachers or kids of the county or just work somehow in the Board of Education because it is a very large employer here in Frederick County. I spoke with Angie Vigliotti about why she's running. Her interview in its entirety will be posted onto YouTube just after this stream. However, I asked why people should vote for her and gave her the floor, and this is what she said. To give you the floor, so to speak, to really let people know why Angie Vig for the Board of Education, and feel free. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dani. I'm so happy about this opportunity, and it's because I deeply love my community, and I will fight for my community for what it needs. I mean, I live in Brunswick. Brunswick High School is in dire need of repair and replacement. And that's due to several issues. I'm not going to stop whether I win or lose. There are great things about this community and about this county. So we really need to be working with the other resources that are available to us and foster those connections in order to make the education system even better.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think there's a parent in this county that doesn't believe you. I definitely know the parents in Brunswick are tired and, frustrated. And I 100% understand it. I went to TJ High School. Again, it just, you look at this as a parent, you think our kids deserve what some other schools have. So when you're speaking about inequity across the county, there's probably a majority of parents out there who 100% understand what you're talking about for sure.
Yeah.
But I think your community definitely deserves some love and attention from FCPS. So hopefully this May you will win and be on the board. But we love the fact that either way, you're going to advocate for the people of your community, your own children, and all the other kids that are part of the school system. So we really, really appreciate your time this afternoon. Wish you all the best and good luck. And we're here for you if you ever need anything.
Thank you so much, Dani. I really appreciate being here. And just remember, these are the people that are going to be running the country someday, and they're going to be working and living here. So we need to invest in them.
Oh, yes, for sure. They're going to be taking care of us.
Yes,
probably in not too distant future.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right, voteforvig.com if you want more information, and I'll make sure it's up on the screen for you guys. Have an awesome day, and don't forget, early voting starts ASAP. Check your voting schedules, and the primary is May 14th. All right, want to thank Angie Vigliotti. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard the Department of Justice investigation that was done with FCPS. Her child was one of the students who were a part of that investigation. That is what motivated her to run. You have to listen to her entire interview because obviously she's coming at it from a point of experience and frustration, and I can't even imagine, probably fear. So, that is, she's got a great story, and she really just wants to help local families. Okay, after the quick break, we're going to hear how Hartley House is growing and continuing to support this community, and I'll share with you information about a free summit that starts tomorrow on raising generational wealth. And for real, it is completely free. You'll hear about it just after this. Oh, let's get there.
Elevate your neck party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
Key City Rotary presents the Low Key Festival, a family-friendly, all-ages event on May 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Carroll Creek Amphitheater. Tickets are just $5 in advance, $10 at the door. Kids under 5 are free. Live music, food from Grilled Cheese Please, traditional authentic Mexican and Rocky Point Creamery, adult drinks from Rockwell Brewery, 10th Ward Distilling and Hidden Hills Winery. Come out to downtown Frederick and have some low-key fun.
And if you want tickets to the Low Key Festival, you can win them. Go ahead and just text Low Key to our text line, which I will put up on the screen for you. It is going to be a great day. It is family friendly, all ages. Of course, I don't have Low Key on here, but the text line is 888-465-2944. That's what I was supposed to do. Low Key. It is on there. I see it. Cows and Low Key. That's what we need. That's what we're giving away this week. All right. Speaking of the Frederick cows, let's do what's happening in Frederick. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by the Frederick Flying Cows. If you've not been to a game, what's keeping you? We only have games in the month of May, and then the playoffs start. So I'm assuming we're going to make the playoffs. We're doing really well. We're 12-4, and we play again Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock, at the Woodsboro Bank Arena at Hood College. So congratulations to Woodsboro Bank on that one. Get your tickets if you want them at goflyingcows.com. Really want you to support this team because they're going to do so much for our community. They're so involved. They give back every week. Every game, we have donated to a local charity from the 12 days of giving they did in December, where they pre-sold merch and tickets, and they present all that money to our great organizations, nonprofits. All right, the Everything Frederick calendar. Have you looked at it yet? Oh my gosh, you need to get it. All right, I'm going to share my screen so you can see what's happening in Frederick. I mean, look at this calendar. It's crazy to look at by month, even by week. It just is packed full of stuff. So I like to look at the agenda view, which gives you a little bit easier way to see what's going on and plan out a full day. If you've got people coming into town and you're like, hey, I want to figure out what we're going to do, this is a great place to do it. And if you are a brewery owner, distillery, if you host events, if I don't know about them, they're not on here. So all you have to do is email everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. Send me all your stuff. I'm preferable if you send me a URL that I can link to, so if people need more information, because it gets put right into this. So I'll show you. Let's see. Oh, today, 11 o'clock. Look at this. Everything Frederick, the home of Everything Frederick, is open 11 to 6. Stop by. You can recharge, see the store, pick up some swag from Everything Frederick and Good Morning Frederick. Although I only have some t-shirts left. People were purchasing things last night, and I've got more stuff on order. So stay tuned for that. But Shannon's got a ton of really, really cute stuff. Bucket hats with Everything Frederick on it, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Tara, her sister, has some beautiful photos on glass, and there's some Fran Byrne images on metal. It's going to be great. And we're going to keep replenishing and have more artisans as the days go on. All right, primary election starts tomorrow. You can see you have a link here if you want to vote early. That's not going to be at your typical voting space. There is apparently a 2-hour early dismissal tomorrow for FCPS. And you can see here, we're going to meet Clifton Corbin later, the Raising Generational Wealth Virtual Conference. It is free to attend. There is a link there that you can sign up for. And on Friday, we've got the Spring Bloom Immersive Pop-Up at Give Rise Studio. This is local women artists and creatives with the theme of blooming, garden, and plants. Various mediums of art, including photography, watercolor, and more. There's a cool bouquet bar. Ory was just talking about how popular these flower bars are becoming, so you can check that out. And Sage Cakery has a cake and cupcakes with painted flower motif. I bet it's just gorgeous. They are so talented at Sage Cakery. This weekend, you can stop into Taco Bar Saturday and Sunday. Taco Bar has Cinco de Mayo specials. You can get the breakfast burrito for just $5 from 10 to 12 Saturday and Sunday. Chips and guacamole are $8 all day. And you can get birria from noon to 4 at Taco Bar, again, on Saturday and Sunday to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Let's see. Oh, and then you can go to the YMCA Healthy Kids Day on from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at the Natelli Family Y. Sorry, the Natelli Family Y in Urbana. If you've not been, it's so fun. If you've got young kids, there's lots of activities. They can play, they can run around and have a great time. And that Natelli YMCA is just gorgeous if you haven't been there. So head over to the YMCA for Healthy Kids Day. And of course, right after that, come see me. This is not 7 o'clock. I'm going to move that because it is 5 o'clock. We thought it was 7, but it is 5 o'clock Saturday. So I'm glad I looked at that. We will update that for you. Sunday, you can check out the Bead Bar at Frederick Made. If you've not been into that store, that's at in the base of the Scott Key Hotel right across from the Weinberg. Cute store. And you can go in there and just purchase goods that have been made by local artisans or sign up for one of their many classes. And the Bead Bar, you can just go in and make bracelets. If you've got young kids, not young, but teenagers, tweens, This would be perfect. I wish I knew about this. Well, I wish it was around when my daughter was younger, always making bracelets and things like that. And of course, you can see there's always links for more information. So please, if you want something to be included on our calendar, all you have to do is email it through to me at everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. All right, real quick, because I know we are pushing time. We are just over a month away from our Scott Key Center prom. My friends at the Scott Key Center watch every day. Sometimes they stream live. They'll send me a picture of me on the big screen, which is kind of scary sometimes. And or they'll watch over their lunchtime. And I just love them. They have helped out the community so many times. If you own a local business and you need help doing things like stuffing envelopes, maybe you're doing a conference and you need to stuff bags or goodie bags or things like that, that's how they helped me out a lot. They will come for free and just to volunteer their time to get out and into the community. And Beth over there is fantastic. She would love to help you. So please reach out to Beth at the Scott Key Center. You can just text me and I'm happy to give you her details. But I want to give back to them because they give back so frequently. So if you can donate even $10, I would love it. Go to scottkeycenter.org. We're trying to raise money to pay for the menu. We're just doing some hors d'oeuvres for them. It's 11 to 1 on June 5th is their prom. And I am still looking for suggestions for a theme for them. I'm very literal, so Under the Stars is difficult for me to get into because it's the middle of the day. But we could certainly do A Night to Remember or Under the Stars or Under the Sea or any of those prom themes that are very popular. But again, just really, really want to help them. All right. Oh, and also, if you're a local business and you donate, as Charles Studios did, then I will triple your donation in exchange for some sponsorship on the show. That is what I am willing to do to help them out. So we want to thank Alexa at Charles Studio for her very generous donation to help us make this happen for the fine people at Scott Key Center. All right. One more quick ad break, then we're going to get right into Hartley House and Clifton Corbin. Whew, I know, it's a lot. Here we go.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
And of course, the Goddess Group of Real Estate now has a place to do some of their paperwork at 401 North Market Street, which is so exciting. And you can go see them there. They might have you meet there if Shannon helps you sell or buy a house. All right, we want to thank Sandra from A&S Construction, who renewed with us. She's a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business located right here in Frederick. You know, we talk a lot about women in the trades. We had that interview with the career counselor from CTC, which is our Career and Technical Center here in Frederick. High school-aged kids participate in that. And getting more women into trades is so vital for our country to keep moving and a great way to make a good living. And Sandra is a perfect example of that. They specialize in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. She has extended her special offer through May for Good Morning Frederick viewers. But if you need any work done, even if it wasn't one of the things I mentioned, please give her a call. If she can't do it, she will know someone who can. And please let her know that you heard about her on Good Morning Frederick. You can even, if you don't even need any roofing done, just text her. Hey, saw you on Good Morning Frederick. That will make her feel better. And me too. All right. I heard about this summit from Rob Phelan, a local teacher who's been writing books and teaching classes to kids about money. He is one of the many experts being featured in a free summit happening starting tomorrow. It's the brainchild of Clifton Corbin, and I chatted with him yesterday and would love for you to hear all about this summit. All about financial literacy, especially with kids. My parents never talked about money at all, and I was terrible in my 20s. And I make an effort to make sure my kids know and have a healthy relationship with money. And I'm so excited to talk to Clifton Corbin. And you are doing Raising Generational Wealth Summit. Tell me how you got to this point of doing a summit like this.
Oh, it's been a fun journey. So back in 2021, I released my book, Your Kids, Their Money. It was a book to help parents teach financial literacy. I had a similar history as you'd mentioned. I struggled with finances in my early 20s, so I wanted to give back to make sure that young people didn't have to do what I did and figure it out the hard way. So I wrote a book, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start talking about this book. So I went around and started talking to parents. And the thing I kept hearing again and again from parents that I spoke with was, I like the idea of teaching my kids financial literacy, but I don't feel comfortable talking about money, or I don't think I know enough to teach my kids about money because I don't know enough about my finances. So that's where this event came from. It was like, okay, if the book's not going to be enough, if the thing that parents need is more help, then I will create an event that can help you. So one of the things that I've been very fortunate since I started doing my public speaking and my books and all these other things is that I've been meeting more and more people who also help with financial literacy. I've met folks who focus on budgeting and on retirement planning and estate planning and cash flow and all these different aspects of helping people with their money. And I basically reached out to all of them. I was like, hey, would you be interested in volunteering your time, your expertise, your knowledge, your skills to putting together an event with me, and then we could share what you know with as many people as possible for free, which is what the Raising Generational Wealth Summit is. It's a free event
Right.
for folks to come and start feeling comfortable about money, and then hopefully, if they do, also hear some speakers who are talking about how you start teaching that to your kids.
Look, I mean, I think that, well, first of all, I absolutely love that you guys are offering this for free, because typically what you see on the internet is, hey, we're going to show you how to make millions and you just need to pay me $24.95 5 times in a row, right? And so you know that there's always kind of that catch. So I love that you have experts that are, excited to teach people about this, and it is completely free. How many times have you done this so far?
This is my first one.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's excellent. That's so exciting. Okay. So you built all of these people, and it is happening. Let's give our viewers the details about this summit that's happening this weekend, right? It starts
this week. It starts on Thursday. This week.
Okay.
So May 2nd, May 3rd, and May 4th. On those days, I will be releasing batches of videos. So the first day, it's a conference. It's a virtual conference. It's all online, but it's still a conference. So on the first day, we're talking money mindset. So I've got folks who are going to help parents and couples start having those awkward money conversations and start talking about financial independence as a family. So the money mindset pieces, the parts that are, it's in our head. We need to get out of our heads to start having these conversations. So that's day one. That's on Thursday. On the Friday, we're doing money mastery. So I have a bunch of speakers who are talking about like the nitty gritty. So like I mentioned, retirement planning, estate planning, financial planning, like all of the stuff to actually start making you feel better about your money. So that those videos will be released on day 2. So that's on Friday. And then on the last day, on day 3, we're doing wealth and legacy. So we're talking about how, if you could start, saving your money, how do we start investing? How do we start leveling up our careers and, maximizing our paychecks? How do we start to, maybe we're starting a side hustle, or maybe we want to leave that 9 to 5. What do we have to do to leave the 9 to 5? Or how do we start teaching our kids about money? Because that's the other piece. So how do we, start teaching our kids about investing? So that's happening on the last day. So the logistics of this thing, if you go to raisinggenerationalwealth.com, GMF.com. You get all of the information. You can register there, get your free ticket. And then on those 3 days, I will be emailing you, and you'll have access to that day's batch of videos, and you could watch them all at once. This event is meant for parents, so I know how hard it is for parents to find time to do anything. So I wanted to make this as easy and convenient for parents as possible. So on those days, you get an email in the morning. You can watch all the videos that come out right at once. You can watch them throughout the next 48 hours. After 48 hours, the videos do expire, but you can watch them, like I said, you can binge watch them once they come out. You could spread it over those 48 hours, and then after those 48 hours, the videos will expire. And I did that because I wanted folks to have some sense of urgency, right?
Yes.
So if I give you unlimited time to watch it, then you'll do what I tend to do, which is say, I'll just watch it later, and then later never comes because I got to bring my son to soccer, and I got to bring my daughter to dance, and I got to make dinner, and I got to do the laundry. So I wanted to force some action, because the one thing I wanted this summit to be is something that helps folks take action, right? Like, I know that folks often feel uncomfortable with their money, or they don't know what the next step is. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of folks out there on the internet who will say, just come and follow me, and then I'll tell you all of your problems, but as soon as you pay me, then I'll show you how to solve them. I didn't want that. I wanted this to be an action-oriented event where people could tell you what is the next step you should do, no matter where you are on your financial journey.
Yeah, and look, I really have a lot of respect for you for pulling this together. Can I ask how did you come around to write this book? Like, what got you to the point of saying, you know what, I've gotten my house in order, I would love to show other people how to get their house in order?
Well, it was just that. I had some dark days in my early 20s. Like, I went off to college. I thought I knew what I was doing with my money, and I obviously didn't, because I found myself deep in debt, dealing with creditors, and all of the things that you want to avoid is all the things I found myself dealing with. Yeah. And as I mentioned, I didn't want anyone else to do that. And what I realized is the thing to help folks not have to deal with that is to help young people understand money before they need it, right? So if they can start understanding how to manage their money in a smart and, efficient way before they, get their student loans, before they've got their first paycheck, before they get their first credit card, then maybe they can avoid some of those money missteps that I took. So that was the genesis of the book, is that I wanted to help parents start having those conversations with their kids. So that was the rationale for the book.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is so important, imperative.
We need to start having these conversations. We need to, reflect on what our money stories are for when we were younger. We need to start having these conversations in our relationships with our partner. We need to deal with any financial trauma. This is why I have financial therapists who are going to be speaking at the first day of the summit, because that's what some of us need. We need to hear from folks who have specialized in therapy and finances, to bring the two together to say, hey, this is how we start to move forward and start making progress. And again, hopefully raise that generational wealth, so that we're leaving a legacy of knowledge and information to our next generation, to our kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited for you for this. I'm excited for the people who are going to be attending. It's excellent what you're doing.
Thank you.
And the psychology part, the therapy part, and I think it's interesting. I've been married for 25 years, and, when you're young, and, they always say, oh, talk to your partner about money. How do they spend? What do they do? You don't have those conversations. You kind of do, but they're not. And then as you age and things change, it's like you have to revisit those conversations throughout your relationship, so that you're on the same page by the time you're training your kids, hopefully, to have a good respect for money as well. So, yeah, this is great. What are your expectations for this first summit?
So my hope was to pull it off. I'll be honest
just get
with
through it.
It's a big undertaking.
I bet.
And I just wanted to make sure I did right by the speakers, because a lot of these speakers, one, they're experts in their craft. Like, these are CPAs, financial therapists, tax professionals, financial planners. Like, what they are talking about at the summit is their job. This is what they do. So I wanted to make sure I was doing them a service, and I wanted to make sure anyone who came they were able to leave feeling like they also received something. So as long as, at the end of the day, when I reach out to my speakers and say, are you okay? Did this feel good for you? If they say yes, then that, check number one. And then a couple of the audience members come back and say they learned something. They were able to, take some of the strategies and some of the things that the speakers are saying and apply it to their lives, then that's a win for me too. So making sure the thing happens, which it will, it's, May 2nd, May 3rd, May 4th, the videos are coming, it's happening. But then, just seeing that there's some positive outcomes from the audience would be just the most rewarding thing I can ask for.
Well, I think you should be getting national praise for this. Again, I think really it is so vital for our next generation to figure this out and again, not get themselves into such a position that, they just, it's stressful. It's stressful when you don't understand how money can work for you. I just can't commend you enough for doing this. And
thank you very much.
I look forward to being a part, registering and listening and watching. And if there's anything that we can do for you after, maybe for next year, we would love to help spread the word and really make this take off even more. So I really wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you so much for that. And you nailed it. This won't be a one-time thing. This is something that I'm planning to do again and again because the need is there. And I want to make sure that if, as any way I can help fill that need. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I want to thank Clifton Corbin. He's a stay-at-home dad who thought, you know what, this is going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to register and hopefully we'll be able to watch everything within the next 48 hours. And our own Rob Phelan from here in Frederick is going to be one of the presenters, which I love. All right, Hartley House has been a part of the Frederick community for 45 years, and they will be celebrating in a big way come October. But today, Jen and Abby wanted to remind you all about the great work that Hartley House does. And I'm telling you, it's a lot. Let's meet Jen and Abby. I get the pleasure of chatting with Abby and Jen from Hartley House. Couple misconceptions about Hartley House that we're going to clear up, but one thing is absolutely for sure. This organization has been doing amazing things, and I've been told it's the 45th anniversary of Hartley House. So first of all, ladies, welcome and congratulations. 45 years of doing great work in Frederick.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's exciting.
It is very exciting.
We are planning a really big celebration in October. We have our Walk a Mile in Their Shoes event every year. And so we definitely have a few more exciting things up our sleeve this year to really celebrate 45 years and really, hopefully, to offer more opportunities for the community to engage with us around that.
We really want to chat about the organization itself. There may be people who don't know what Hartley House is all about. And we know that some people think they know what Hartley House is all about, but it's kind of shifted over the years. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about the mission of Hartley House?
So the mission of Hartley House is really to offer safety, shelter, and supportive services to survivors of intimate partner violence or domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, and human trafficking. So we cover a lot of what we call types of violence or things that would fall under the umbrella of power-based violence. So anytime there's a power and control dynamic, we consider that power-based violence.
I know just from the news, the trafficking issue, are you guys seeing a large uptick in trafficking?
Yes, especially since 2019, 2020 during COVID, the numbers have gone up. And that's another space where there's a lot of misconceptions about who's being trafficked, who are the traffickers, where's it happening, why is it happening. So we do a lot of education around that. And we also, again, provide support to survivors and to their families.
What is a big misconception that people may have of the Hartley House organization?
The really cool thing that we offer that may be a best kept secret is that we offer training on different types of violence and how to prevent it, whether it's the workplace, or an institution like a school or a class. So
wow.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Wait, so these are like free things that people, is it like webinar based or how's that?
we can really tailor it to whatever people need. I mean, we can do online trainings. We've done that for other groups and organizations, but we also can go in person. Yeah. And so again, on our website, you can find the page that where you can kind of pick what kind of training you want, what your group consists of, and we will get in touch with you and we can set those up. But yeah, it's completely free of charge.
That is an incredible resource to the community, especially because you guys it's a broad spectrum, right? We're not just talking about one single lane. And so even I would probably even call bullying, but like things like that, but that lead to a larger issue. So school groups like PTAs, people like that contact you, or even just parents, or how does that work?
Really, anyone can contact us. And wow. I'm really excited that you mentioned PTAs because we recently received a grant to do more targeted work in FCPS. So we're going to be hiring staff who are just full-time in FCPS to do that prevention work. And they will be doing outreach to those PTA groups so that we can do parent education. And we're going to be training more teachers and staff on red flags of dating violence, or how to spot a kid who is witnessing violence at home and how to support them and how to get them connected with us. It's also going to allow more parents in FCPS to know about our services so they can get in touch with us if they need things. But yeah, we love connecting with school groups. We have a great relationship with Frederick County Public Schools. We also have really good relationships with Hood College, Frederick Community College, and Mount St. Mary's University. So we do programming on those campuses throughout the year as well. So we're everywhere.
The more people that you plant these seeds with, hopefully they know where to go. Teacher education or school system education, it's so vital because they spend a majority of time with the kids. What is one big challenge that you guys have found? I know, Abby, you said you've been at Hartley House for 2, and Jen, you're 7. What's a challenge for the Hartley House that you guys are trying to overcome?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's a couple things. I mean, one, Abby mentioned at the beginning, and you mentioned it too, Dani, there's this idea that we're just a shelter for women. And we do have a shelter, and that is a vital piece of the work we do. But only about 13% of our clients ever set foot in shelter. So the other 87% are utilizing all those other supports that we offer. That's clinical, that's legal. That's our hotline is a huge part of it. So we have that 24-hour hotline, and that's really most people's first contact to Hartley House is they call that number. They get to talk to a trained, trauma-informed crisis professional who is going to walk them through figuring out what do they need? What do they need to feel safe? What do they need to move on from maybe the relationship that they're in, whatever the thing might be. And then they get connected with our other areas of service. And so I think that's the big challenge is making sure more people know that we're here for them. We've heard from men who are like, I didn't know you could help me. So we have our services are for anyone who lives in Frederick County. If you work in Frederick County, if you go to school in Frederick County, we are here to serve you. Men, women, trans, non-binary individuals, children, senior citizens. Again, our services are all free of charge. We don't check anyone's income level. And that's the other thing too, Dani, is I think a lot of people, they think about violence, especially intimate partner violence, and they think this only happens to one type of person. It's happening in every community in Frederick County. And so it doesn't matter what your income level is.
Yeah.
We're here for you. And it doesn't matter what your education level is, we're here for you. So that's a challenge. And then also just Frederick County is huge. I mean, it's like geographically, it's the largest county, right? In Maryland. But the population is growing. So it's just crazy. And so there's all these little pockets of the county. They've never heard of us. Or if they have, they're like, that's just for people in Frederick, in the city of Frederick. They're not for me.
Right.
So that's another challenge we've really been working hard to overcome is how do we get Hartley House services out to all the corners of the county so that people in Emmitsburg feel like they can come to us, people in Urbana, people out in Brunswick know that we're here for them and we're here to help them.
It makes me think, do you have a staff of 100 people. How do you guys manage?
Well, that's another challenge.
Yeah. So I know, I think Frederick County is one of the fastest growing counties in Maryland right now as well, population wise. So how do you handle the influx of all of these additional people that you're helping?
We have been able to increase staff. We have been able to get funding in place so that we can hire more staff. We added a new department. It's called Community-Based Services. And the members of that department actually go out to different places in the community. So they go and they do case management. They're in Emmitsburg. They're in one of the public schools so that parents can get connected with them that way. And if you can't come to us, there's a high likelihood we can come to you. Creating that department so we could be more accessible for sure. And then, just really trying to keep increasing our legal staffing. We have 3 full-time staff attorneys, increasing our clinical department. We have full-time adult counselors, and we have 3 child counselors, 1 full-time, 2 part-time child counselors. We have bilingual counselors. We have bilingual legal advocates. So we really have been trying to keep the staff level up to be able to meet the need. But that's also been a challenge.
Mm-hmm. What are 3 things that the community can do to support you?
Well, I don't know if this answers that, but as Jen was talking about, and you were talking about just how are we meeting this need, this growth is exponential. And you're absolutely right. We've experienced growing pains at every turn, which feels like in all the other nonprofits I've worked in, kind of unprecedented rate. And so we have this desire to have another building. We're outgrowing our space now. But then I think what the community can do is we are so grateful that the city recognizes the need alongside and is funding our work. And so we have a lot of openings that are new positions. We're looking for people who love this kind of work. If you follow us on social, you'll see that we have anywhere from 5 to 11 jobs posted on a regular basis.
Again, you kind of wish the need wasn't there, but because it is, we're glad that you guys can rise up to that. A lot of times when people say, hey, where can I donate these items? I know I see the Hartley House listed a lot. I just want to make sure you guys, in items, like if somebody's donating things, what do you want and what do you not want? What would you like from us?
I feel this question a lot because our community is so generous and they think of us instantly when they have an excess of clothing for women and children or furniture. And, as wonderful as that is, because we have outgrown our space, we've outgrown our capacity to take on, I would say 98% of donations. And so what we like to encourage people to do instead, if they're like, how can I help Hartley House? What can I give? Is giving in the form of gift cards, something like Visa, Walmart. Survivors are often individuals who are coming to us who have been robbed of freedom of choice. And so for us to be able to hand them money in the form of a gift card where they can go buy the clothes that make them feel good or go buy the toys that their kids really want, especially around the holidays, or the food, that they want. There's something really empowering about giving them the option of choice. And so we try to do that.
We do also have, there are drop boxes at both Common Market locations. So on, I think it's Bucky's Turnpike, 85. Bucky's Turnpike, and on 7th Street. There are donation bins there. And we also do love full-size toiletry items, feminine products, diapers, wipes, things like that you would probably need if you were staying somewhere that wasn't your home for a while.
You're just basically passing them along to people who can use them right away. So you're not having to store them, which totally understand. Right. Yes. Can you give me 3 or 2 things that the average citizen can do to help somebody if they feel like they're witnessing something that's going on? Or should we just stay out? What is the advice?
So that's another thing that we offer training, not to keep plugging the training, but we do offer what we call bystander intervention. But I do want to make a caveat because I think you asked a great question there is if it looks like a dangerous situation. And so we don't encourage or recommend bystander intervention or direct intervention if we're looking at a domestic violence or intimate partner violence situation, because those can turn very violent very quickly. So in those situations, you want to be a supportive person to the potential victim there. You want to be able to offer them resources, let them know you're a safe place. But if we're looking at situations that could be like workplace harassment, sexual harassment, or a situation, say you're at a party or something looks like it could turn into sexual violence, we do offer a lot of tips, trainings on how to observe that situation, determine if it's safe to intervene, and if it is, here's some different ways you could intervene. Like a quick one we have is just like create a distraction, right? Like drop a pen, say, oh my gosh, excuse me, did you drop this pen? We have a whole little campaign, we call it like, excuse me. And it's just these like dumb things you can say to disrupt a conversation, like, oh, excuse me, do I know you from high school kind of thing, just to stop the flow of whatever's happening. So yeah, definitely it's so situationally dependent, but we love doing those trainings and just helping people feel empowered to understand what they're seeing and know, is it appropriate for me to intervene? And if so, how can I do so safely?
If there's one thing you want everybody to know about Hartley House before we leave today, what would it be?
Go to our website, follow us on socials.
Okay, I want to thank Jen and Abby. Look, that conversation was about 30 minutes long. I've already decided with Hartley House, we're going to bring them back maybe even once a month, and we'll do 5 minutes with the Hartley House because their they do so much. They do so much. But if you are a PTA, a Rotary Club, any other civic organization, contact them. They will come in and do training and talking, and they're just phenomenal organization. So I know I've kept you guys over an hour. I appreciate you guys staying with me. Tomorrow I visit Elk Run, and I also speak with a flight attendant who takes her frustrations out on vintage silverware. We're going to have Jill from Hammer Glamour on the show. She makes amazing jewelry. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you don't miss an episode or any of the content. Until then, search for us on TikTok. You can follow me as well on TikTok and Instagram. Just look for Dani Gurry or Dani Just Dani. Okay, get out there, enjoy the beautiful weather, and get out there and be great, Frederick.